The following special series is the Saka Broadcasting Young Producers Initiative titled Authors Among Us, or Autores Entre Nosotros. The focus of the series will be 4 Pennsylvania authors. We'll explore their influences, passions, and motivations. In this final program, we'll get to know Norma Tamayo.
On April 27th, 2019, Norma Tamayo conducted a reading at the Lancaster Public Library. She was born in New York City to Puerto Rican parents, grew up in Brooklyn, and later moved to New Jersey. She presently lives in Pennsylvania. She is a registered nurse, licensed massage therapist, and a teacher. Her first novel, A Girl Named Nina, won a Latino International Book Award for Best Young Adult Fiction. The book is a composite of her own experiences and observations, and of friends and neighbors in her Brooklyn neighborhood. She is currently writing the sequel to her novel. She begins her reading from the book's prologue.
South 2nd Street in Brooklyn. This is where it all began for Nina. South 2nd Street, this is Nina. We approached South 2nd Street. I could see the kids playing on the streets, lots of them. A fire hydrant gushed tons of water onto the streets. Residents typically sought from comfort from the heat by opening up the fire hydrants. Kids were getting wet as their parents watched them. The water was coming out so strong, it knocked the kid on his body. Everyone laughed. It looked so fun. I can't wait to try that, I thought. I saw some kids sitting on their stoop eating ice cream from the ice cream truck and drinking bottles of soda. Sweat rolled off their foreheads like liquid beads. The fire escape. The fire escape was big in Brooklyn, New York. I don't know how many of you lived in Brooklyn, but I was born and raised in Brooklyn and I loved it. And the fireplace was our hangout. I could see kids everywhere. South 2nd Street was alive. Some kids sat on their stoops like they were sitting on bleachers on a game and watched other kids play. I was amazed to see that there were fire escapes on practically every apartment window. Teenagers and kids were sitting on their fire escapes, just hanging out and listening to music. I could hear songs playing all the time. I would close my eyes and listen to the soothing lyrics of that one particular song. What can make me feel this way? My girl, back then that was one of the most popular songs. I saw kids riding their bikes. 3 girls were jumping rope. 2 of the girls held one rope in each hand. I heard them singing rhymes as they were turning each rope. They were playing double dutch. I saw 2 boys playing marbles on the street. I watched another group of kids playing baseball down the street, but they were playing baseball with a broomstick. My father was a big fan of baseball, and so was I. People always told me that I was a pretty little girl, and I believed that, but I always liked playing with boy stuff too. Mommy, can I go out to play? I asked. I want to play baseball with those kids. They're playing stickball, not baseball, Bobby said. That was her big brother. Nina, it's getting late. You can go out to play tomorrow, Mommy said. Ma, no, Ma, nothing. Go to bed. It wasn't long before Nina started to realize that life was not always a happy one. Nina's parents lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn. They were poor. They worked hard. But Nina's parents shared one bedroom, and the other bedroom was where her brother Bobby slept in. Nina slept on the mattress on the living room floor. And one morning, Nina woke up, and she heard a shrilling cry. The scream came from the apartment below hers. It sounded like a kid in pain. Stop, I heard him say. I ran to Bobby's room to see what was going on from where I was standing. I was able to see through my neighbor's kitchen window. A tall, skinny man was standing over a boy about my age. The man held a belt in one hand. With his other hand, the man held the boy's right arm. The man swung at his belt, hitting the boy repeatedly. It was nonstop. He didn't care which parts of the boy's body he was hitting either. The man was like a machine. I could hear the sound of the belt making contact with the boy's skin. Whack, whack, and whack. I could see the boy crying, tears running down his face. I won't do it again, Bobby, please stop, the boy begged. I told you not to touch that, the man yelled as he beat his boy. I watched in disbelief as the father whipped his son over and over again. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. "Stop already," I yelled, but the man couldn't hear me. How can anyone do that to a kid, I thought, as I took several breaths. "What are you looking at?" Bobby asked. He got up from his bed and came to the window. Bobby heard the screams too, and immediately he knew what was going on. He had heard sounds like that before when we lived on Lynch Street. Kids got beat up all the time by their parents. I was just too young to remember. "Stay away from the window and mind your own business," Bobby said.
As the book develops, Nina pursues her medical career.
Remember receiving my acceptance letter from Rutgers University. I was accepted to the pre-med program. I will be majoring in biology. I was so excited upon receiving that letter. Several years went by, and now she's graduating from medical school. And it was the beginning of a lifelong dream for Nina. Nina Tavares was finally going to be a doctor. However, getting into medical school was very challenging. The competition for medical school admission was intense. So many candidates were applying, and only a few got in. I was one of those lucky ones. Fast forward, at 26 years old. Not only did I graduate from medical school, I managed to enroll in a residency program at the Medical Center in Jersey City, the same hospital that treated me after I was attacked by Ephraim. Although I practically lived in the hospital, I had come to realize that even after working ungodly hours for minimum pay, I loved my job. I enjoyed working with my patients, practicing medicine, and doing all those things you see doctors do on television.
From the audience, some students ask Norma about who inspired her to become a writer.
I was woken up. I kept waking up in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. I can feel somebody telling me to get up and just talking to me, get up, get up. And he actually pushing me off the bed. So I would get up and walk to the computer and start typing. I'm like, why am I typing? I'm a nurse, I'm not an author, I'm gonna go back to bed. So I would go back to bed, but the next morning again, get up, write your book, write your book. So I would get up and I'd be sitting in front of the computer at 3 o'clock in the morning and these tears are coming out of down my face and I'm typing up. It's like a movie playing in my head. I had so much to tell and so much to write about. So I started writing pieces and pieces of my book. And it wasn't until the year 2012 when I met an author, and we met at a blood drive. It was a coincidence. He was telling me about his book, and I said, "Really?" I said, "Well, I'm writing a book too." And he said, "You know what? I bet you my publisher would love to publish your book." And I said, "Really?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." So he picked up his phone right in front of me, and he called his publisher, and he put her on, and I spoke with her. She said, "I'd like to meet you." Okay. We met at a diner a week later, and I brought her all my manuscript. She read my manuscript, and she said, "I want to publish a book."
Finally, an audience member asks Norma about Nina's role in the sequel to her book.
Nina, as a doctor, she's still dealing with these cases with domestic violence, suicide, child abuse. So these are going to be issues she's going to be encountering in the book, and I'll be talking about that. One of the things that I did in my first book was, number one, I put in a glossary in the book because there were some Spanish words throughout the book, so I wanted to have like a dictionary. And my publisher kind of opposed that. She said, "Don't do that." I said, "Yeah, that's the educator part of me. I got to do that." And she said, "Okay." And then I added questions in the back of the book, and then I added hotline numbers. Again, that's the educator part of me. But the hotline numbers are there in case you want to commit suicide or you've been exposed to domestic violence. Call these toll-free numbers. I'm trying to help people in the book. And what was I going to say? Okay. So I did that part of it, and like again, my publisher was against that. In my next book, again, I'm going to be doing things like that. I have questions in the back of the book too, in case people wanted to use it in the book club and wanted to get, ask questions and answer questions. I included all that. But there's going to be a lot more, and a lot of it's going to be on Nina's own experiences. Actually, as a registered nurse, I worked at Reading Hospital for 20 years, and I worked in the intensive care. I worked in the clinic. I worked in every drug and alcohol. I worked in many different areas, and I've seen a lot myself. And my students also have encountered a lot of their own personal life, so I'm going to be incorporating their stories in my book. So these are all true stories, not necessarily Nina's story, but these are all true stories that have happened.